Hey everyone, welcome back. Unless you're very new to mountain biking, you know how important it is to have good tires on your bikes. I am no different. I'm always on the lookout for that perfect combination between rolling resistance, cornering grip, and ultimately weight. One of those tires is the Bontrager XR4. It is supposed to be an aggressive trail tire. Let's take a closer look at it. And I don't know about other things, but Trek or Bontrager likes to mess around with the graphic design of the sidewall of their tires. Looks like every time I'm looking at Bontrager, the sidewall looks different. This is a 2021 incarnation of XR4 team issue. These are tubeless ready tires, and I am looking at a 27.5 2.6 tire over here. You can still see Bontrager here on the sidewall, but now is kind of stealth. And these tires are made in Taiwan. Some might say that they're made in the same factory as the Maxxis tires. Can't really confirm that. And talking about consistency in the graphic design of these tires, this is a 2.4 tire, a rear tire, and the Bontrager is also stealth here on the sidewall, but you're also gonna have the size of the tire, something that we didn't have on the 2.6. Also on the sidewall, you're gonna get the dimension of the tire. You see that 66 millimeter, 27.5. So that should be the width of this tire. And if you continue on, you're gonna get to this area where maximum tire pressure is mentioned. In this case, it's 40 psi, which is kind of low compared to other tires that I looked at. And the last thing worth mentioning here is the directional arrow. This is a directional thread, like many of the current tires in the market. And all that information that I just mentioned is to be found on both sidewalls of the tire, unlike Maxxis that only prints that information on one side. Also, unlike other tires, this has a tread wear indicator, TWI. You can see that little step down here on the center knobs. So when your tire gets to that spot, Bontrager consider it's done. You can find a mention of this TWI right here on the sidewall next to the directional arrow. Interestingly, I have two tires. One is a 2.4, one is a 2.6. The 2.6 is the only one that has that wear indicator. The 2.4 doesn't have it. And the moment I saw this thread pattern, all I could think of was the Dissector that I looked at not too long ago. But it also occurred to me that the design of the XR4 is not that far off the design of the Maxxis Rekon. And here they are side by side, Dissector, XR4, and Rekon. You can see the cornering knobs, the shape of them on the XR4 are a mix between Rekon and the Dissector. The Dissector has these blocky cornering knobs. XR4 has that as well, but this other type of cornering knobs is very similar to what Rekon uses all around. You're rolling on two types of knobs, the 2 and the 3 alternating pattern, and you see this third one being close to the cornering knobs, and that makes it a nice and roundish type of tire, as opposed to the Dissector that has that clearly visible channel. The leading edge of these center knobs are tapered just like they are on the Dissector. As for braking surfaces, you can see them over here. Again, very similar to what the Dissector provides. If anything, this might provide a slightly better braking performance in comparison. Height of the knobs is very similar to what the Dissector provides, and quite a bit bulkier than what Rekon has, even though this is a 2.6 tire. The stated width of these tires, this is a 2.4, is supposed to be 58 millimeters. Well, cornering knobs, corner to corner, it's a bit over that. So this measures about a bit over 60 millimeters, which is 238. The 2.6 tire ETRTO is 66 millimeters. You can see it here, almost 66 millimeters, and that's 257. Again, this is a 2.6 tire, and the cornering knobs are definitely wider than the actual casing or the sidewall of the tire. The center or the rolling knobs of these tires are a bit over 3 millimeter tall, and the cornering knobs are about 2 millimeters taller, 5.5 millimeters. That's the same on both 2.6 and 2.4 tire. And the last dimension you might be interested in is the height of this tire. I'm measuring 85 millimeters, but this is a 25 millimeter rim. So we're talking about 60 millimeter height on the 2.6. The 2.4 is a couple of millimeters shorter, as you see it over here. And I'm sure you want to hear about the weight of these tires. The 2.6 is supposed to be 860 grams. That's the spec. Well, this one comes to 848, so a bit under that. The 29er tire is supposed to be 950 grams, so not too bad for a 2.6 tire. As for the 2.4, this is supposed to be 745 grams. And here is a 765, so a bit over spec. However, the very interesting tire is these XR4 in a 29er version, because that's supposed to be 780 grams, which would be really great for an aggressive tread pattern like this. But overall, very close to the stated weight, something that is not that common these days. You can get the tires in 27.5 and 29. You can get the SE4 version, which is reinforced sidewalls. Overall, I've always had good experiences setting them up tubeless. The sidewalls are pretty nice and stiff. And overall, these are good tires for what they are. Think about them as being not as aggressive as a Minion, very similar to a Dissector, but with less weight, and depending on where you buy it from, these can be a bit cheaper as well. So, what do you guys think about the XR4 Team Issue tires from Bontrager? Which one is your favorite Bontrager tire? I've used XR4, I've used XR3s, and I like them a lot. What about you folks? Let me know in the comments below if you found this useful. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and until next time, hope to see you folks on the trails. Why not running Bontrager tires? Cheers, guys. Cheers.